whether you're in the financial markets or not, you should be aware of the overall sentiment of what's going on in the world and around you, and know that usually whatever direction the masses are going, whatever the masses think is the best way to go, is usually not true. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Welcome back to the Freedom Factory. I'm excited about this episode. I know I say that probably every week. I should be, right? I should be excited every week about the episode, or else you wouldn't be here getting value. So I am excited because I believe what I can share with you today will help you guys on the road to financial freedom. And the theme today is how to manage fear in your business and in your investments. This is actually, I was going to say this is huge, but this is actually probably one of the things that separates the highly successful from the people who have minimal to no success, is how they manage fear. And there are famous business people and famous investors that have said, documented over and over and over again, that their wealth was amassed when other people were selling or running away from the industry or the opportunity that they're in. And I'm bringing it up right now because the financial world is a little bit this way. Now, not all um, different sectors are experiencing extreme fear right now, but there are some. Like there's some like your gold, your silver. I'm looking at the charts right now as we're speaking. They're at virtually all-time highs. Okay, gold's all-time high is 4,381 an ounce, and we're sitting at 4,100. So 4,300 is the high. We're sitting at 41, almost all-time high for gold. Okay, so that sector not necessarily in a fear stage, right? You couldn't say that at all. However, you can look at some of the other sectors like cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. A lot of you guys are paying attention to this and maybe are very, very worried about what's going on in the Bitcoin world, because Bitcoin is, for all intents and purposes, about 30% down from the all-time high. And there are a lot of people that were on the bandwagon and are now off the bandwagon. And I'm not here to give you financial advice, but if I was you, I would look at your moving averages. Okay. For those of you that aren't in the investment world, take a look at the 200-day moving average. And when Bitcoin gets under the 200-day moving average, watch historically what has happened in the months after those type dips. We are currently right now, if you look at I know I'm kind of diving deep into this. So for those of you that are not into the financial world, not into investments, bear with me. I'll land somewhere with you real quick, that you might be, okay, I understand what he's talking about. But if you look at the 4-hour charts for Bitcoin, the mean reversion hasn't been this low since 2022. So back to the mainstream conversation. That has put people into this tremendous fear mindset. In fact, there's actually a chart, a meter that gauges what people call fear and greed, right? So when there is extreme greed, it's usually when a stock, a company, the security is been overbought. Like people are just buying it, buying it, buying it because all their friends are buying it, all their friends are talking about it, and people are fearful that they're going to miss out. So they buy without even really looking at the fundamentals, they buy. And that's when things are on the greed side. They're buying out of greed, not necessarily fundamentals. The opposite of that is the fear side. where again, people are not necessarily looking at fundamentals, but they're fearful, so they're selling. So right now, in this past week, we were at some all-time lows on the fear side of things. People very fearful. Your smartest investors, your wealthiest investors know that this is the time, these are the opportunities they look for. Warren Buffett has said things that, some of you may think he's super conservative, but he said in a lifetime, you should make like 20 significant moves or trades. 20 in a lifetime of trading. Whereas today we may be looking at, wanting to make these decisions several times a week, several times a month, several times a year. He's saying 20 in a lifetime. So what that means, guys, is it may be a year or two in between significant moves. So, like I'm saying, my point to this deal with going on with Bitcoin right now. Right now, if you look at the mean reversion, it hasn't been this low since 2022. This far down. So we're talking 3 years for those investors that have been waiting for their opportunity. It has arrived. But the overall sentiment in the investment world is extreme fear. So you got two complete opposites. And my point in this for all of you is this: whether you're in the financial markets or not, you should be aware of the overall sentiment of what's going on in the world and around you, and know that usually whatever direction the masses are going, whatever the masses think is the best way to go, is usually not true. If you everybody is talking about an opportunity or knowing about a certain sector, it's not a great opportunity anymore. And so we really want to strip that back to maybe what we do in network marketing. How many people do you know really, really think network marketing is an amazing business opportunity? The answer is not many. And that's because they've either done it before and not had success, like somebody invested in the wrong stock at the wrong time and they lost money. So they think, investing's not for me. Okay. Same thing in network marketing. They got into the wrong company at the wrong time with the wrong products and the wrong people and the wrong systems and all the wrongs, and it didn't go well. So they think it doesn't work. All right. And more times than not, just like regular business and just like the stock market, most people get it wrong when it comes to business and when it comes to network marketing and the business of network marketing. Now, let's strip that down inside the opportunity itself. Let's say you understand that network marketing is a good business. Let's say that you're ready to build this thing. Look at it the same way on people being fearful and what they do when they're fearful versus the people who are not so fearful and are making things happen. So my point is this: inside your opportunity, the things that most people have not done, are not willing to do, are probably the things you should be looking at doing. Let me give you some examples. Have you set up and hosted a Zoom meeting yet? Do you know how to use the technology? Okay. I didn't say, did you get on a Zoom? Because that's different. Getting on the Zoom is you just click some buttons. Have you set the thing up? Do you have an account? Let's take it a step further. Do you do trainings for your team? Let's say you got a few business partners. Do you rely on someone else to do the training, or are you starting to do the training? Let me ask you this way. How many people in your team do you know that are doing the trainings and doing the Zooms and setting things up? And are those people having more success than you? Think about it. And the answer is yes, they are. And it's because they're doing the fearful things. They're going the opposite direction of the masses. If you have not yet cracked the code for building your network marketing business, guys, this is it. Do what you're scared of. What other people are not willing to do, you do. You guys have heard me say this on this podcast. What has led to our success in building in this industry is we were willing to do what other people were not willing to do. And sometimes it's painful. Like right now in the financial markets, I have investments that are not performing so well right now, and it's painful. It's painful to watch it. It's you can't completely strip your emotions away from it. And I also know though that I've done it long enough to know that this is not a situation by looking at what's really going around. This is more of a fear driven decision what's going on in the markets right now. And the same case for network marketing. Why do most people not stick with network marketing? It's fear of judgment, fear of what other people think. If you guys can sustain that, if you can sustain that fear of what other people think, if you can be the joke inside your friend group for the first 18 months after you've told your friend group you're in network marketing, not hiding it, not just talking about some products, but straight up talking about the business. If they know, like you're in the business and maybe you've talked to them about joining you and they said no, if from that point forward for 18 months, you do all the trainings, you do all the daily methods operation, you do all the events. If you do that, your chances of success are extremely high. Just like in the stock market, guys. If something drops, if you can sustain the emotions, the bad emotions for 18 months, for 12 months, almost always those stocks rebound. You can watch it over and over and over. It's why Wall Street's so wealthy. They prey on the emotions of weaker investors, period. They prey on the fear and greed factor. They know most people are going to buy when it's too high, and they know most people are going to sell when it's on the low end. They know. They buy at the wrong time, they sell at the wrong time. And so I want my audience to be wise to what's going on around them. Don't follow the masses in business. Don't follow the masses in investments, and you will set yourself up for success. And most importantly, in business and in your investments, patience. That's why I told you about Warren Buffett in the 20 moves, the 20 big trades, the 20 different decisions in a lifetime. In a lifetime, that's patience. You guys have to be patient with your network marketing business. You have to be patient. Why do most people fail at network marketing? They're not patient enough. They don't give themselves enough time to develop the skills necessary to lead a team, to recruit people into their team. Those things take time. They take months. For some, it takes years. But my question to you is this. How long, doing what you're currently doing to earn money, how long are you going to have to do that? Because you know how much money you're making and you know how much money you're saving. How long are you going to have to do that job before you're financially free? Before you have money coming in serving you instead of you serving the money? How long is it? And the answer for almost everyone listening to my voice is forever. It's forever. It's never happening in the current job. It's never happening because it's really, really hard with traditional income to make enough money to live, pay your expenses, pay your taxes, and then invest. That's what most people do. It should be the way around. But if you don't get me started on being an employee because they take your taxes first. Okay, you should be investing and saving first and paying your bills last. That's a whole nother podcast that we've covered, and we'll do it again in the future. But how long will you have to work under the current circumstances? And the answer for most is forever. You'll never get it. And my response to you then is, if it took you 10 years in network marketing to finally get leverage, to finally get the team going, and for you to reap the financial rewards of leveraged income, is 10 years faster than forever or never? And the answer is, of course, 20 years would be faster than the current course most people are on. And it won't take 20 and it won't take 10 if you hit this thing the way you're supposed to hit it. with business intentions. Now, some of you may have been in network marketing 10 years and you're not there yet. And I would say within that 10 years, then you've missed events. You've not told your story every week, every month. You're not doing the things that the people who are earning the money have done. You're not enrolling business partners. You're enrolling customers. You're not doing the things that lead to building teams. At least you haven't consistently for that long. Because if you have, I would like to see and hear that story because I've never seen it in 16 years. It took Lynette and I, it took us 4.5 years to go to the top rank, but in 2.5 years, we had already equaled our income from traditional business. 2.5 years. And this income is not linear where you work for an hour, you get paid for an hour. This is the money was coming in. It's leveraged residual income, far different than trading time for money. It took us a little over 2 years, 2.5 years to get there. Now, is that fast? Yes, that's fast. There were some circumstances that fell just right for us. But even if you're in a average company with an average comp plan and average products, if you, and I'm not suggesting you stay at that company, right? Because why would you stay there and when there's really good companies around with really good comp plans and really good products? But nevertheless, my point is, even if you're not in the greatest opportunity, if you will give it enough time, and if you grow into the leader that other people want to be around, your teams will grow. I know right now there are people joining what I would think is old, played out opportunities, and some of them are doing okay. And I say okay, six-figure incomes because they have grown into the leaders that other people want to be. They are doing the things that other people are scared to do. When other people are scared, they're doing it. And so I think this message today is a strong message, guys. If you find yourself where you're full of doubt, you're in the right place. If you find yourself fearful of taking on this next assignment, you're in the right place. When other people are saying the sky is falling, you're probably in the right place. All right? Keep this thing in mind. And for those of you that are in the investment world, keep a close eye on things because there is a lot of fear. And on this flip side, there's a lot of greed right now in AI. You guys know some of the biggest companies in the world, the money is just pouring in like, as they would say, growing on trees. So I would say that's the other side. That's the greed side of things. Beware. All right. So I think the message today, a little different, but overdue. We were overdue for some financial talk, but really this wasn't about financial talk. This was about the correlation between the investment world and the business world and how we manage fear. That's really what this is about, guys, is how you manage fear. If you can manage it well, things are going to go well for you. And that's my hope. So you guys have a good week. We'll see you next week.